welcome. You're watching Head to Head. I'm Antonina Antosha with UATV. About 500,000 Ukrainians annually become donors, yet 70% of them donate blood just once. The current blood system in Ukraine requires reorganization aimed at attracting and retaining regular blood donors. That's why a new national blood donor registry will be created in Ukraine. So how the situation with blood donation will change in the nearest future? To talk about this and many more other issues, we welcome to our studio today Irina Slavinska. She is the head of Blood Safety and Donation Department of the Public Health Center of the Ministry of Health of Ukraine. Hello, and thank you for joining us.
Hello.
So for Ukraine, as a country that has been in the state of war for 5 consecutive years, how important, how urgent is the issue of blood donation?
It is really very important, not only for that special situation in Ukraine, because every day you can hear or see the posts on Facebook or other social networks that urgently somebody needs blood or its components. You know, the pregnant women, the people who has cancer also need blood and its components. So it is really very important, not for the special situation in Ukraine, every day donate blood or annually donate blood for that people who needed it. And Ukraine, firstly, since the Soviet Union start to reform the blood system, and
The Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine approved the strategy. So what are the cornerstones? What are the main peculiarities of the strategy? And how is it going to change the current situation? How is the new strategy going to urge people to become blood donors, to not only donate blood once, responding to someone's post on Facebook or any other social media, but how to be eager to do it annually or as often as possible?
This strategy consists of some parts, and first of all, we need to propagate the non-remunerated blood donations as like for free blood donations and regular donation. For that, we need to create the information campaigns and create the program for the development of that movement with the help of mass media, with the help of NGOs and other foundations. Also, we need to create new system at all, to create the 3 levels of the system: on the national level, on the regional level, and on the hospital level.
And what's going to be the task of each level of the system?
For the national level, tasks are financing, coordination, licensing, and monitoring of the whole system, because for now we didn't have that the duties at all. For the regional level, we need to modernize the blood centers that collect, testing, and realize blood components to the hospitals, to the patients. So here we need a lot of investing, and we are looking for the support from European Union for financing that level, because it is much more money that we have currently from Ukrainian budget. It's approximately 6.
So Ukrainian government is taking part, is participating, but unfortunately is not able to cover all the necessary.
Yes, the modernization of that level needs a huge investment project. And on the hospital level, we need to transform the transfusion departments, where people could donate blood, but for the next 4 years, that departments become like hospital banks, where they could store blood components and give them to the patients in a proper way. So the whole aim of the strategy is a safety and timely access to the blood components to each patient.
But still, it is going to be implemented on the basis of volunteers, right? So people would go and voluntarily donate blood.
Yeah.
How many transmission centers do we have right now situated in Ukraine?
You mean blood centers? Yep. 450 approximately, and it is very hardly to modernize all of them. So,
but is it enough, or do we need more?
No, we do not need more. We really do need less of them, and to provide them with the modern technologies, because the safety blood is a safety first of all. Safety for the patient. We need to provide that safety through the modernizing laboratories, through the trainings, through the popularization of voluntary non-remunerated blood donations, and in the complex it will be like in the developed countries already in the European Union, when we have a culture of donation, when everybody knows that it's like my personal position to help other people to donate blood once or twice per year.
In the framework of the strategy, a national registry, a national blood registry is going to be created. What kind of registry is it going to be? How is it going to put in new donors or patients? And is it going to be available for access online to everybody? How's it going to work?
It's a national registry for blood donation. It's a closed registry for everybody, but open for the proper institutions who collect and use that blood components and products. So for donors, it's an easiest way to donate blood in each part of Ukraine, because now, for example, I have a Kyiv registry and I couldn't donate blood in Odessa, Lviv, Dnipro.
Just because you have a Kyiv
registry? Just because I do not have the registry in that country, in that cities. But now we have the migration process, not only in Ukraine, through all over the world, and it's like silly do not donate blood where I live, just because I do not have the registration in that city. So, or for example, my parents live not in Kyiv, and for example, something happened, the accident, and I couldn't help, or friends, I couldn't donate blood here, and they will use the blood in other city. The national registry will help to coordinate the between the other institutions the information. Could I donate blood here or not? Maybe I have some diseases that do not allow me to be a donor, for example, and the doctor do not need to go to some bureaucracy process to call for the other cities, and actually nobody do that.
What about the temporarily occupied territories of Ukraine?
What do you mean exactly?
Are they going to participate in the whole registry?
Yes, of course. We have the blood centers in Severodonetsk, in Kramatorsk, in Donetsk and Luhansk regions. So yeah, they are that parts of. They are Ukraine. That parts of Ukraine also will be joined to the national registry for blood donors.
While working on the strategy, the experience of which European countries did Ukraine actually take into account?
Actually, it's the experience of all European Union, because every country is very, very different. For example, France, the experience of France will be really very important for us to mapping that blood centers in Ukraine, because we have 450, and we need to realize that it is really very huge amount of that centers. We need to reduce them. So the experience of France will be really very helpful. The experience of Germany, where each institution that has a license could collect blood. For example, NGOs like Red Cross. In Ukraine, only state institutions could collect blood, not NGOs, not private sector, only state institutions. So it is really very important how to allow each institution to collect blood, and and how to control them, because the first mission of the state, of the government, is to control the quality of that blood components. So what should be the license for that institutions, different or the same? For example, what kind of items should be there? So yeah, it's two main countries. Poland also very important. The experience of Poland also very important, and that's why after the signing the association between Ukraine and the European Union, we need to harmonize our regulatory laws system to the European Union also, and that's why we need to implement 4 directives from the European Union that say about quality of blood components and about the whole system, how to organize the whole system, because quality, it's not only laboratories,
of course.
It's who come to donate blood, where do that people hear about the information, how to donate blood, what is the whole process in the blood center, how to transport the blood components from the center to the to the hospital, and how to use the blood components. It's everything about the quality of the blood and the safety. So it is really very important to implement the whole rules, you know, not only not only the something important, but the
whole circle is important.
Yeah, the whole circle, and in general, it will be the safety and quality and the timely access to each patient.
Okay, let's stay safe, let's stay responsible, let's stay healthy. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
That was Irina Slavinska. She's the head of Blood Safety and Donation Department of the Public Health Center of the Ministry of Health of Ukraine. Thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned with UATV for more.